right starting point. Let's talk about the #1 reason beginners struggle before they even make their first stitch. They buy the wrong stuff. This happens all the time. Someone gets excited, walks into a craft store, grabs a random hook and the prettiest yarn they can find, goes home, tries to figure it out, gets frustrated because nothing is working the way it should, and then gives up. And the sad part is, none of that frustration had anything to do with their skill. It had everything to do with their tools. So let's fix that right now. You only need 3 things to start crocheting: a crochet hook, some yarn, and a pair of scissors. That's the whole list. You don't need a big starter kit, you don't need a fancy bag to carry everything in, you don't need 10 different hooks on day 1. 3 things and you're ready to go. Now let's break each one down. For your first crochet hook, get a 5mm hook. That size is the sweet spot for beginners. It's not too small where everything feels tight and cramped, and it's not so big that your stitches look loose and sloppy. A 5mm hook gives you just the right amount of control while you're still learning how to move your hands. When it comes to the material of the hook, go with aluminum or plastic. Both of these are smooth, which means the yarn glides off easily without catching or snagging. Some hooks are made from wood or bamboo, and while those look really nice, they can have a little friction to them, which makes things harder when you're a beginner. Keep it simple: smooth hook, 5mm, and you're good. Now for yarn. This is where most beginners go wrong, and it's a bigger deal than people realize. When you walk into a craft store, the yarn section can feel like a lot. There are so many colors, so many textures, and so many different thicknesses that it's easy to just grab whatever looks nice. But what looks nice on the shelf and what actually works for a beginner are 2 very different things. Here's what you want: a medium weight yarn. You might see it labeled as worsted weight or have a number 4 on the label. This thickness is the most beginner-friendly because your stitches are easy to see, easy to count, and easy to work with. Go thinner than this and everything becomes fiddly and frustrating. Go thicker and it starts to feel clunky. The texture matters as much as the thickness. Stay away from fluffy yarn, fuzzy yarn, or anything that has a lot of texture to it. I know those kinds of yarn look amazing and they feel so soft in your hands, but they hide your stitches. When you're learning, you need to be able to see exactly where one stitch ends and the next one begins. Fluffy yarn makes that almost impossible. Stick with something smooth. Color also plays a bigger role than you'd think. Pick a light color. White, cream, light gray, light yellow, any of those work. The reason is simple. Dark yarn makes it really hard to see your stitches, especially when you're new and still figuring out where to put your hook. Light colors make everything visible and clear. For fiber, go with acrylic yarn. It's affordable, it's easy to find in any craft store, and it holds up well while you're practicing. Natural fibers like wool or cotton are great, but they can behave differently and cost more. Save those for when you actually know what you're doing. For now, acrylic is your best friend. All right, you have your hook and your yarn. Now let's actually get into how to crochet. Everything in crochet starts with something called a slip knot. This is how you attach the yarn to your hook so you can begin working. It sounds technical, but it takes about 10 seconds to do once you see it. Take your yarn and make a loop with it. Now, take the part of the yarn that's connected to the ball and pull it up through that loop. Slide that new loop onto your hook and pull the tail end of the yarn gently to tighten it around the hook. Not too tight, just snug enough that it doesn't slide off. That's your slip knot. Your hook is now connected to your yarn and you're ready to start. From the slip knot, the very first thing you're going to practice is the chain stitch. The chain stitch is the foundation of almost every crochet project. Before you can make anything, you need to know how to chain. Here's how it works. Hold the hook in your dominant hand like you're holding a pencil. Hold the yarn and the slip knot in your other hand with your fingers. Now, take the yarn that's coming from the ball, wrap it over the hook from back to front. This move is called a yarn over, and then pull that yarn through the loop that's already sitting on your hook. You just made one chain stitch. Do it again. Yarn over, pull through. Another chain. Keep going and you'll see a neat little row of V-shaped loops forming. That's your chain. Practice this until it feels natural because you're going to use it constantly. One thing to pay attention to while you chain is your tension. Tension is how tightly or loosely you hold your yarn while you work. This is something that trips up almost every single beginner. If you hold the yarn too tight, your chains will be tiny and stiff and really hard to work into later. If you hold them too loose, your chains will be uneven and floppy. You want something in the middle, relaxed but controlled. Getting your tension right takes time and repetition. Don't stress about it on day one, just keep practicing and it will start to even out naturally. Now let's get into your first real stitch, the single crochet. Make a chain of about 12 stitches. Now look at your chain. You'll notice each link in the chain looks like a little V. You're going to work into those V's.
Skip the very first chain right next to your hook. Go into the second chain from the hook. Insert the tip of your hook through that chain stitch. Now yarn over and pull the yarn through the chain. You should have 2 loops sitting on your hook right now. Yarn over one more time and pull through both of those loops at once. 1 loop left on the hook. That's it. That's 1 single crochet stitch. Move to the next chain and do the same thing. Insert your hook, yarn over and pull through, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through both, 1 more single crochet done. Keep going across the rest of your chain and you'll finish your first row. When you get to the end of the row, you need to turn your work to go back the other direction. Before you turn, make 1 chain stitch. That little chain gives your work some height and keeps your edges from pulling in. Then flip your work over and work back across, doing single crochets into each stitch of the previous row. Keep doing this, row after row, and you'll see a small, flat piece of fabric start to grow. That piece of fabric is called a swatch, and making swatches is the best practice you can do as a beginner. It looks simple, but every single row is training your hands, building your muscle memory, and making everything feel more natural. Once you feel comfortable with the single crochet, the next stitch to learn is the double crochet. This one is taller than the single crochet, and it works up a lot faster, which makes it really popular for things like blankets and scarves. The double crochet starts a little differently. Before you even insert your hook into a stitch, you do a yarn over first. So yarn over, then insert your hook into the stitch. Yarn over again and pull through. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through just the first 2 loops. Now 2 loops remain. Yarn over one last time and pull through those last 2 loops. 1 loop left on the hook. That's your double crochet. It feels like a lot of steps at first, but once your hands get used to the rhythm, it flows really fast. The double crochet makes a slightly more open and stretchy fabric than the single crochet, and because the stitches are taller, your projects grow much quicker. With just these 2 stitches, single crochet and double crochet, you can already make a huge number of things: dishcloths, coasters, scarves, simple bags, headbands, and more. You don't need to learn every stitch before you start making real projects. Most beginners actually do better when they pick 1 or 2 stitches and focus on finishing something rather than trying to learn everything at once. So here's what your first real project should be: a small flat square using single crochet. Chain 15, work single crochet rows back and forth until your piece is roughly as tall as it is wide, and finish it off. That's it. Making that square will teach you your starting chain, your turning rows, how to count stitches,